Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a little bit more of an editorial style, but I saw this picture a while ago on Pinterest and I knew, actually no, I didn't see it on Pinterest. I saw it on TikTok first, and then I saw someone recreate it on Pinterest and I was like, okay, now I have to do it. I feel like this is very photo shoot-esque, and I didn't really need anything too out of the ordinary. My usual needle and thread, pearls that I got from AliExpress, and then I just braided my hair as usual. Usually I always do all backs, so this is like my first time doing a cute little design instead of just all backs, and I think it turned out pretty good. Um, yeah. Anyways, I don't have much to say. I think it's really cute. Yeah. So, first order of business today, as always, is parting. So, for this hairstyle, I decided to do something out of my comfort zone. I usually do all backs, as I mentioned, but this time I wanted to do a cute little style by incorporating some curved lines. So I started with parting my hair, just doing a side part, not all the way down, just a halfway side part, or maybe 1/4, not halfway. But I did a side part and then I started the curve from there. At the end, I kind of realized it kind of looks like a heart, which wasn't my intention, but still cute. Here you see me just putting Shine and Gem on my hair. I mainly focus on the areas where my hair meets my scalp, just to give me a little bit more control. I find that when I'm braiding and I have that shine and jam there, it kind of acts as a guideline to let me know where to continue, especially when I can't see the entirety of my head. And here I'm just showing you what kind of hair I used. I used just expression hair. I used the bulk of the hair I used today was number 2 expression hair, but then I had to use a little bit from the pre-stretch hair, which was color number 4. Sorry, not 4, color number 1. But you couldn't really tell the difference at the end. Here you see me braiding. If you remember from my last video, I mentioned how braiding downwards just was not my greatest strength, but surprisingly, by the second time, I got a better hang of it. So I was quite happy with the outcome. When I first started braiding, I didn't feed in hair because I was going downwards. But then when I was at the front of my hair and I could switch my arm, then I started feeding in hair. I think if I started feeding in hair from when I started the braid, this braid would have been thicker. And I think that's one of my qualms or lessons learned, if you will, is I think the front braid could have been much thicker, but nonetheless it still looks good. I think I can do a better job of showing you how much hair I used in the future, but if you don't know how to cornrow, I have the first video that I uploaded on my channel is a how to cornrow video, but I just skipped this part because it was just repetitive. It's just feeding cornrows, but the method that I use, and I think you can tell from the size of the hair that I'm feeding in, I start with a small part, and then I just increase the increments as I go. So I use sets of 3 and I increase as I go. So each set of 3 is going to be bigger than the previous one. Here I just I started a part and I just chose a different direction than I first started, but yeah, I find that it kind of gave it a cool look. So the braid was starting one way and then it started from the other way. I don't know, I was really just freestyling. There was no method here, but for this braid just feed it in, landed right in the middle, which was perfect, or perfect division for um, both sides of my head. And on this side, I used or I did two braids. And on the other side, I found that I had a little bit more space, so I did three braids. So in total, I think I had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight braids. Yeah, I think I had eight braids in total. Um, and yeah, now you see the middle braid, it was like the thickest. That's the size I want. I wanted the first braid, but nonetheless, I think it was um, still worked. Um, but yeah, I ended up with eight braids. Here I'm showing you the pearls. I just ordered these off of AliExpress. I genuinely thought the biggest one was gonna be bigger, but this is what I got. So I used three sizes. There is the just a small, medium, and large. I don't know how else to describe it, but to add in the pearls, my needle and thread again working overtime. But yeah, I just measured a little piece of thread, and then I started inserting the pearls. I found that, as you can see here, when I first started, I had to loop it a few times on the braid before I could go ahead, because the thread just falls through the braid. So you just have to loop it a few times. Here, you also see a second mistake of mine. The pearls kind of roll down to meet each other if you don't lock in, or if you don't I don't know, tie a knot at the end of each pearl. So every time you insert a pearl, I found that I had to tie a knot so that the pearl wouldn't travel or roll down to meet the other pearl. So it just stays in place, basically. So that first pearl, I accidentally, it wasn't intentional to make it two clusters, but I kind of liked how it turned out, so I just left it. And then at later on, you see me inserting a few more clusters and making a bunches of twos and threes, and then a few singles and individuals. Here you see my third mistake. I kind of accidentally crossed over the needle to the other braid, and I just went with it. But you can see the thread where the part is, and I think it's just an aesthetic thing, but it just kind of bothered me. But when you cross over one thread from one braid to the other, thread kind of shows, because obviously my scalp is a little bit more visible, so the thread will show if you cross over. I try not to cross over a lot, but I did a few times because I was just too lazy to cut the thread and start over. But so far, I was enjoying the process. It was fairly easy. Again, it was just another repetitive step. It felt like I was just sewing, honestly. And yeah, just inserting the pearls and staggering it just like I liked. And I think some of the pearls, especially like the smaller ones, it was just not harder, but you just had to find the little, hole as you go. But I found that putting the needle into the pearl before I went into the braid made it a lot easier than putting the needle, I don't know, than trying to find where the pearl is when it's already against the braid. So putting the needle in the pearl first and then putting it on the braid, rather than putting the needle or putting the pearl against the braid and then trying to find where it is, because it's just harder when you can't see the back of your head. Here, you see my you see my thread getting caught in a lot of things, one of them being my earring. Sometimes the thread will get caught in another pearl. Just being mindful of not letting the thread be caught in another pearl, because then just you get that long thread that you just don't need just hanging there. But I briefly considered at this stage putting the pearls all the way down the braid, but I kind of decided against it because I didn't want the pearls to be all jumbled up within the bun, because I knew I wanted to create a bun rather than just let the braids free flow. But if I wanted the braids to free flow, I probably would have inserted the pearls on the tails of the braid as well. But yeah, I think in this instance, it kind of worked. Um, I'm just speeding up this process here because it's not really, yeah, you've seen it a few times and I think you can get the hang of it by now. But yeah, I'll just let it play for a second. And here I am at the end. Luckily, I had my thread finished at the last braid, so I just cut the needle off right there. And yeah, I love the way it turned out. I think I could have possibly done with more pearls, but I think I was happy with it. I think I like the fact that it doesn't cover the entire thing. It's just scattered all over around. Yeah, it kind of looks like sparkles. I liked it. And at the end, I just decided to put my hair in a bun. And at this stage, I considered whether or not I wanted to sew my bun in place, and then put the pearls on top of the bun. But I don't know, I decided against it. But I'm still pretty happy with it. I think it's just a cute little, just accentuates my braid. Yeah, if you look closely, you can see where the thread starts and where the threads ends, but no one should be looking that closely at your scalp. Yeah, but you can see this thread a few times, which I didn't mind, but that's okay. Yeah, I enjoyed this look a lot, and I was very happy with the design. I didn't think I could pull it off, but you never know until you try. So definitely enjoy the pattern as well. Don't mind that braid that I didn't finish braiding. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye.